I want to tell you, there is no such thing as good habit and bad habit. Habit means you are functioning unconsciously. If you're functioning unconsciously, that's a bad thing because the whole thing about being human is we are capable of doing things consciously. That is the beauty of being human, that we can do everything consciously. What an animal does unconsciously, we can do the same thing consciously. We can eat unconsciously or we can eat consciously. If food is constantly being processed in your digestive system, a certain amount of energy naturally is gone there, so both your brain and body will not function at their best. You may not feel lethargy because you're eating small meals, but you cannot stop the digestive process. Now you think by eating small meals through the day, you can be active throughout the day. You can be, but not at your full potential. If you want to be at your full potential, you must keep your body and your metabolism of the body in such a way, whatever you eat, within 1.5 to 2.5 hours, your stomach must be empty. This is what yoga always insists. Stomach being empty does not mean hunger. Only when the energy levels run down, you feel hunger. Otherwise, stomach must be empty. Only when the stomach is empty, stomach means stomach bag, the food would have moved to other areas of the intestine. In the intestine, the process is very different. That's not digestion, that's assimilation. There it doesn't take much energy. It's a digestive process. When the food is in the stomach bag, at that time it's best you keep your activity at low. Now throughout the day, if there's food in the stomach, then you bring down your whole potential of life. One more aspect, when there is food in the stomach, when the digestive process is happening, the excretory system shuts down almost. 80% of it shuts down. When I say excretory system, it's on the cellular level. The purification of the body is happening, that will shut down, at least 80%. Or in other words, all the impurities which had to move out of the system will not move out, which will create various problems for you over a period of time. And if you eat at different times, even your excretory system from the intestines will not happen efficiently for you, because the waste matter doesn't come at a certain time into the colon. It will come at different times, so you will have a problem with that also. So throughout the day, your colon also won't be clean. Colon not being clean means you're asking for problems. Your colon should be clean always. In yoga, there's enormous importance to this. Fruit is a substance which is over 90% water, and you must eat water, not drink water. This is the yogic science. As far as possible, you eat water. You always be conscious about the food that you're eating, what is the water content. Like a South Indian meal, if you eat, a cooked meal I'm talking about, if you eat, very easily 60–70% water. In fact, more. In some of the foods, it's much more. But now the food that you're eating here, you're eating bread, which was baked a month ago probably. Is that minimum? Even in so-called organic shops, it's at least a month or at least a week. Nobody is going and getting fresh bread and come, and anyway, the way the bread is baked, it doesn't have water in it, very, very little water. So of course you're compensating that with a bucket of Coca-Cola or something like that. Right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't work like that. If you drink any liquid along with your food, the acids that are necessary for digestive process will get diluted. Your whole digestive process gets inefficient. Because food when it goes in, if it contains water, it's assists. But if you put any liquid on top of it, you will see the food will remain in the stomach bag for too long. We are very concerned about this always in the yogic culture and life, that we don't want food to remain in our stomach bag for more than 2.5 hours maximum. In 2.5 hours' time, it doesn't matter what I've eaten, how much I've eaten, it must go into other parts. If it remains there, it makes you dull. It makes you lose your sense of perception. The level of perception, the keenness of perception is lost, which you notice if you eat food without Coke or coffee or tea or anything, you feel dull. It kind of pulls you down. Whole lot of people have developed a culture around it. After lunch, they have to sleep. It's like you went to the gas station, you fueled up, then you can't start the engine because there is gas in the tank. So that's what it means. So, to ensure that digestive system is in full process, because for most of the chronic ailments that people are suffering today in the world, the headquarters is in the stomach. Yes. For a lot of people it's shifting to their head, but largely headquarters is in the stomach, the way… what they eat and the way they eat. Essentially because you can receive anything that comes towards you in many different ways. The yogic intention always is to receive it from the higher aspects of your life. When there is a consecrated space, what it means is, there is a powerful energy which has the possibility of transforming you. That energy must come to you always from the highest possibility that you can receive. So, certain cultures have very consciously evolved these postures that if you want to do this is how you must sit. It's very, very important. Even food, I'm telling you, if you sit in front of food, one advantage you have is there is a table between you and the lower parts of your body. But if you sit with food but with legs open, like many people are standing and eating, if you stand and eat, there are many negativities to this, because you must understand the longing for food is not just in your mouth. Entire body is longing for it. Entire body. Well, people will say, oh, there is nothing scientific about it, is my navel longing for food, is my genitals longing for food? Yes, it is. You may not understand, every part of the body is longing for food, but it must go through this route, isn't it? Hello? Similarly, there are other kinds of longings in our body, they must go through the right route, then only life works out in a certain way, otherwise you will distort life. So keeping your legs crossed whenever you see a powerful form is a very important thing, and also food. Food is a very powerful thing. Hello? So it's important that your legs are crossed when food comes in front of you, but you have found another way, shielding yourself with a table. All right, if that is working for you. But if you're having food, you're very hungry and food is exposed to the entire body, this is not good for you. This goes for food. You never open your legs and sit like this in front of them, because that will bring a wrong kind of energy into your system. It's very important you receive it the right way. It's always best to cross your legs and sit down if you're sitting there, not sitting like this. You will attract something that you don't need. If you come to our ashram, all the people there who are physically immensely active eat 10 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the evening, 2 meals. How many doctors have been telling me that they will die of malnourishment, this will happen, that will happen, you must do this, you must do that. I eat only 1 meal a day most of the days. 1 big meal I eat and that's it. And doctors telling me, no, Sadhguru, the way you're traveling, this will happen, that will happen, you must eat at least once in 4 hours, something you must eat. I said, leave me alone, I'm doing fine. But now, a big university in America comes up with this called intermittent fasting. It's not nonsense, it's good, but they rediscovered something that we have known forever. Now everybody is saying there must be a 16-hour gap. Then all your ailments will go away. What the hell were we saying all these thousands of years? The simple thing is, There are many aspects to this, psychological, physiological. But now cancer is on the rise in the world. A cancerous cell is like a criminal in the society. All of us have in our bodies. Only if their concentration becomes more than what they should be, or they gang up and locate themselves in one place, they become like organized crime. So if you just give sufficient break between one meal and the other, most of them will die because they cannot survive. This is something we've been talking forever. But now they've discovered it with $1 billion research. And I've seen hundreds and thousands of people who just become healthy and well simply because they're not fueling up all the time when the tank is filling. Don't overeat, it's very important. Everybody eats 2 meals, I generally eat only 1 meal, 4:35 in the evening, because I don't like to sit in front of the plate and worry about how much to eat. I like to eat well. Is this enough? Am I looking okay? Hello?
Generally, for people who are on the yogic path, you know what they say? You should eat only 24 morsels. I'm not saying this to everybody. If you are noticing that you're tending to fall asleep through the day, you eat only 24 morsels of food, that is 24 mouthfuls. Why 24? I will not go into that number business now, but there is a science behind it. You only eat 24 mouthfuls. Mouthful does not mean So essentially, your alertness depends on how keenly you manage your energies. And this is crucial if you want to meditate. Not doing 15-minute shunya. If you want to become meditative in your life process, this alertness not of the mind alone, alertness of your energy, that your energy is alert. To keep it in an alert state is why you're doing the sadhana. So to assist it, you eat only 24 morsels. In the Indian way of looking at time, there is something called as a nimisha, which has something to do with 24. That's why you eat 24. You eat 24 and still you must take the same time that somebody who's eating a full meal, whoever eats maximum in the ashram, just see their plate till they get up. You must be sitting right there. Not simply sitting, you must chew. To every mouthful, you choose 24 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, chew it 24 times. Now you will see, you will take more time than anybody else, but your food is pre-digested in your mouth before it goes in. It will not cause dullness. If you chew your food sufficiently, you will see food will not cause dullness if it is masticated in the mouth region. Chew it well. If you chew it well, the digestive process, 1.5, 2 hours you'll be hungry, and that's a way to stay. Hunger does not mean you have to… If stomach is empty, does not mean you have to put food. You just have to put water. And you will stay alert, you will be very energetic, you will not lose any weight because your system will learn to use the food that you've eaten well rather than simply wasting it. It's both economically and ecologically very good for the world and very good for your health. Probably you'll never fall sick if you eat like that. So 24 morsels of food, you must chew 24 times each morsel. Fully must become like paste before you eat it.
In the yoga center, all the time people are physically active. So everybody is very hungry by the time it's 3:30, 4 o'clock in the evening, they're extremely hungry. But we learn to live with that because empty stomach and hunger are two different things. Hunger means your energy levels start dropping. But empty stomach is a good thing. Your body and your brain works at its best only when your stomach is empty. So we always make sure we eat in such a way, how much ever we eat, our stomach must be always empty within 2 to 2.5 hours' time maximum. So we go to bed hungry always. People think they cannot sleep. They can sleep. On an average, for 25 years on an average, I slept only 2.5 to 3 hours. These days I'm getting little lazy and sleeping anywhere between 3.5 to 4.5 hours in spite of the level of travel that I have. Because any correction and purification that needs to happen in the body, your stomach needs to be empty. It's very, very important. Otherwise, the purification on the cellular level will not happen. You pile up things and then you have all kinds of problems.
I want to tell you, there is no such thing as good habit and bad habit. Habit means you are functioning unconsciously. If you are functioning unconsciously, that's a bad thing because the whole thing about being human is we are capable of doing things consciously. That is the beauty of being human, that we can do everything consciously. What an animal does unconsciously, we can do the same thing consciously. We can eat unconsciously or we can eat consciously. We can breathe unconsciously or we can breathe consciously. Everything that we can do it consciously. The moment we do something consciously, suddenly that human being looks very refined and wonderful. Just because somebody walks and speaks consciously, doesn't he become a beautiful human being? Yes or no? That's all. So why is it that we are trying to develop habits as if there's a good thing? Habit means fixed realities where you don't have to think. You get up in the morning and it'll happen to you. No, don't try to automize your life. That is not efficiency, that is the efficiency of the machine. This one is supposed to function intelligently and consciously. Nobody is expecting it to function like a machine. So, about food and stuff, food must be suitable for the body that we eat for. It is for the body. This is a building material for this body, the food that you're eating. What is the appropriate food? Unfortunately, it's all messed up. But you must experiment with food, not just by the tongue, but by the body. You eat something today and see, just learn to observe how agile and how active your body feels after eating this food. If it feels like it wants to go to the grave, that's not good food. If it feels like it wants to be alive after eating this, except coffee, because that's a stimulant. If you eat food and your body feels very agile and alive, that means it's good food, body is liking it. If you eat something, it feels dull, that means it's not liking it, it's having difficulty with it, that's why it feels dull.